Hey peeps, Naisha here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm on Romance Club, and there's a new story out, and it's called "Where Love Burns Eternal." I don't know why that was hard for me to say, but anywho, also there'll be spoilers about this because I'm going to give y'all the details. But before I give y'all all the details, I'm just gonna give you my thoughts and opinions on this. But basically, the plot summary goes a little something like this. It says, in modern day Rome, a mysterious professor appears, hunting for the most depraved souls. The main character must join his retinue and help him find his victims. And every evening, she reads her unfinished movie script to to him. So anyway, with When Love Burns Eternal, this is the 50th the 50th book released on the mobile game Romance Club. This book was released July 2025. The author of this book is Veronica, who also wrote Dracula, a love story. And basically the gameplay features. It says most choices you make for your main character in this book influence one of the following variables. Action, the heroine stays proactive and in control. Trust, the heroine the heroine relies on others, believing in others in the world. Status favors reputation and luxury. Delight values liveliness, simplicity, and small pleasures and creative sparks. These choices change the story, the interactions you have with other characters, and the scenes you will be able to play. Now, I can't pronounce the main character's name, but I'm just gonna call her by her last name, which is Lavi. That's what I'm thinking. Um, so the main character is Lavi. I think her name, well, her first name is, I'm thinking it's Messire. See, I feel like I'm messing that up, so I'm just gonna say Lavi. But anyway, we have the main character Lavi, and we also have her love interests. We have Mateo, Rhea, Magdalene, Governor, and then I'm gonna call him Prince because his name Ewald Ophel. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm butchering the crap out of that, and absolutely not. I'm already just not good with my words at this moment. But anywho, I'm just gonna stop talking about that and just go into the story. Now, I will say the one thing I do like about Where Love Burns Eternal is the fact that in this story, um, our main character, Labby, I like the fact that, well, yeah, I like the fact that in this story, it's a story within a story because, um, especially in the first chapter, I'm not going to spoil it, right now, but basically, like, you get to know more about, Lavi's script, especially when she reads chapter one and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that during this whole book, like we're going to be immersed in Lavi's movie script, which I'm not gonna lie, it's very interesting and things like that. Like I'm not gonna lie, when I was playing this, I was more interested in Lavi's movie script than the story itself. Not saying that the story is boring or anything like that. I just felt like the script, in my opinion, I felt like I liked it a lot more than the story. If I'm being completely honest, like, but the story itself is still interesting. I just felt like I gravitated more to the movie script than the actual story. Though I will say the actual story is very interesting, and I'm not going to lie. It, especially the ending, like the last part of episode 1. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of gave a bit of Final Destination. I'm not gonna lie. I I was very shocked by it. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Really wasn't. Just playing this, not even without a care in the world. Because again, you don't. I like the fact that I didn't know what I was going to get with this book. Like, of course, this book is supernatural and drama, but I ain't gonna lie, it also kind of feels like it's a horror story as well. Because I'm just thinking, especially at the end, like what happens. Again, I get more into it like later on in this video, but I like that. I like Lavi as a character. Like, I'm not gonna say she's complex, but I will say she's relatable in the sense of, you know how you just doing something, just you just doing something to like you doing something for now, but you have a dream that you're focused on and you're trying to fulfill that dream, but it's just like you just getting a pushback and things like that, like in that area. And also just her as a person, she's likable in a way. Like, she does things that, like, well, I don't really think she does things that make her unlikable, but I will say that she's more of a realist than, like, someone that's optimistic in a way and stuff like that. And what also do I like about this story? Oh, I also like the graphics of the story. Like, it's very nice. Like, I was digging it. And then also, um I know, like, the background um music and noises to it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's there was at some point where it was a little bit creepy. I was like, oh, that whispering, what is that? Mm-mm. Also, I just want y'all guys to know that I play this on my other account. I have two by accident. I know I'm weird like that, but well, not weird like that because it was by accident. Because you know how you set your account with, like, because I want to say I set my account with Facebook. However, yeah, I set my account with Facebook at first. And but I thought, but like it been like a while since I played Romance Club, and so when I did pick it up again, when when I was about to play it, because I was about to log in, I thought I had logged in with my, like, with my I had accidentally logged in with um my Gmail account. And I was like, dang it. Like, I was so mad about that because I was like, that wasn't the point. I think either I had logged in the Facebook account or I had logged with another Gmail account because I have so many Gmails for different stuff. But anywho, so I was so mad about that, but I guess this helps me in a way because if I didn't, y'all will see the y'all will see the little label written, like, you know um developing and stuff like that. I'm thinking, yeah. But anywho, so let's get on to, like, what this book's about. So, well, let me just tell you, like, the main stuff about this book. So the first thing is, you have a scene, which again the graphics are beautiful, are gorgeous and stuff like that. So you have a scene, and it's basically like, Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden and things like that. And then after that, um I want to say like it seems like it seems like you back in the olden days. That's what it seemed like at first. But then you realize that Lavi had a dream. So Lavi, she, because I have to remember what she is. Okay, so Lavi is an aspiring writer slash director, and she also is a seer at the House of Orion. That's how she makes ends meet and stuff like that. What else? Okay, let me pull okay, like I said, she is a film graduate struggling to get her script picked up by a producer. After months of refusal, she receives a letter inviting her to join Prince. Basically, to join a Prince. I can't. I ain't trying to pronounce his name, but he gives her two tasks: to present him with the most depraved and corrupted souls, and to read him a chapter of her script each evening. If she fails to provide a suitable soul, the prince threatens to punish those who have wronged her, starting with Francesca, her employer at the House of Orion, a villa that hosts shows for the city elites. Basically, like I said, she pretends to be a seer and all that. Just you also are playing Aurora, which is Lavi's movie script main character. Because like I said, like in this story, like I said, it's like it has like a story within the story, because while you are playing like the main character of the story, we also are basically, taken on a journey on her movie script. And so Aurora is one of the characters in her script. But it says Aurora is the daughter of a high-ranking man who grew up in a poor village with a single mother. I know she becomes friends with someone. She becomes friends with two people, Saint, and then Shaddai. Again, can't pronounce that. But I couldn't pronounce the other one, but it does mean saint. I was like, Kadisha. Yeah, I'm just gonna say saint. But at least Sheeta seems like I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, I apologize. But anyway, it says years later, after experiencing disturbing dreams, she arrives in Caesarea, where her husband, the governor, is facing a group of wandering preachers performing miracles of healing and spreading talk of a new world. That's only a tidbit of Aurora. So basically, like I said, now when we first meet Aurora, not Aurora, but Levy. When we first meet, yeah, I'm gonna call her Levy, because I was gonna call her Labby, but I was like, I'm just gonna say Levy because that's easier for me. Sorry, guys, but anyway, so when we first meet Levy, she is having a dream about basically her script, her movie script. And then once she's out of that dream, she is like, it seems like she's floating in the air, and then she falls. And of course, like, that dream just, it kind of spooked her a bit. So of course she gets off stage, and we meet Francesca, which, I'm gonna be honest, I thought Francesca was a cool woman. She's not, but we get to that later. But anyway, Francesca tells her, like, go in her little dressing room. Yeah, go in her dressing room and just, yeah, because, like, she's been through enough. Because, like, that fall was not supposed to happen. So anyway, and also she was saying something, but she doesn't know what she was saying. It isn't until Mateo comes into a dressing room, which like, she takes the makeup off, because, like, she's known, because she has a stage name since she plays a seer. Her stage name is Sephora Ash. I'm called Sephora for short. But yeah, her stage name is Sephora. She plays Sephora. She's a seer. She tells, people's future, but in reality, she just getting the gossip that Francesca knows about, because Francesca used to be a actress, but now she's a socialite. So yeah, she knows everybody's secrets and stuff like that, and so she tells Sephora, and they make a living off of, Sephora's act. Anywho, while Sephora takes off her makeup and just trying to process what happens, Mateo comes into the dressing room, and of course, like, he's shocked to see, her without her face, like, her makeup, and of course he compliments her, and she thanks him and stuff like that. But anyway, he's there because he's having some personal issues, especially dealing with his father, and he wants Sephora's help. However, Levy is like, yeah, that's not real. Like, she basically tells him what's up, like, that's all fake, and stuff like that. She says, if you actually need help, you need to go to someone that can actually help you, like the police or something. And that's what I like about her, because she told like it was. She was like, yeah, child, that ain't real. That's all fake. I love that about her. And of course, Mateo, he's sad, but he actually likes the fact that, like, she actually told him the truth. But he also says that, like, she, like, it may, like, even though sometimes she is lying about being a seer, he feels like she is a seer, because he says, like, so was that fall wasn't real, was it? And also, you spoke in a different voice. And he tells her what she says, and I forgot what she says, but it was something creepy. And but yeah, of course she's like, what, I help you out, because, like, at first she doesn't want to do it, because, again, she would have rather him go to someone that could actually help. But if he wants her help, she was like, well, come to, like, because, like, he wants to make an appointment, and he actually wanted to see her right then and there, but he saw how tired she was, and so she told him to come, like, tomorrow, the next day, and stuff like that. And so he leaves, and Francesca comes in, and Francesca's pissed because Mateo saw her face, and Levy was like, Mateo's not gonna tell. Besides, he doesn't care that, about how she looks and stuff like that. It seems like he actually needs help and stuff like that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, he seemed like a sweet person. Like, it's like, oh. But anywho, then Levy and Francesca, they start talking. Levy starts asking Francesca, did she talk to her I want to say either her director or producer friend about Livy's movie script. And of course Francesca's like, she read it and thinks that Levy needs to change it, but Levy's like, she doesn't want to change it, which I don't blame her, because if I put my heart and soul into a story, you expect me to change it for who? I just self-published the book myself. But this ain't no book, so I feel bad for Levy at this moment. But of course, like with this being said, Levy realizes that she can't really trust Francesca, because Francesca is just all about herself and stuff like that, especially since Levy is making her so much money at Sephora and stuff like that. So, but Levy, she said she'd think about it, but Levy's not going to change it. She's just going to go to the producer, either the producer or the director. She's just going to go to the person and just ask him, like, what he, ask him his opinion about her original, like, about her movie script. So, the next day, she's having breakfast, and this cute dog comes over to her with a letter. And of course, she thinking that this is a prank, because it's basically saying that this guy, Prince, wants her to be in his be in his like little group and stuff. Basically, I want to say as an assistant. Yeah, as an assistant and things like that. And she's like confused by this, because she thinking this is a prank, and she even wrote a letter back and give it to the dog and things like that. But she's also curious about this letter, and so she goes to the address, and she sees this woman, and she looks like a doll. Not only that, but they're in a shop that just has creepy dolls in it, which I'm gonna be honest, that's red flag number one. I'm not going in no place with no creepy dolls. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. If there's one thing you need to know about me, I do not like dolls. Not the creepy kind. Like the creepy. Oh no. I'm not going in that store. Absolutely not. But Levy, she goes into the store and she meets. Is her name Rhea? I'm thinking her name's Rhea. I'm just gonna call her Dollface, because Levy like describes her, like when Levy sees her, she describes her as like a living doll. So Dollface, like, basically Levy tells Dollface that she got a letter, and she thinks that it was a prank or it came to the wrong person. And of course, Dollface like, no, you actually the right person. And then she proceeds to put a bracelet on Levy's arm, and that's red flag number two. Because first of all, I'll be darned if a stranger is going to put a bracelet on my arm. I mean, on my wrist. Like, you're not going to do that. Matter of fact, how did you even maneuver to try to put that bracelet on my wrist to begin with? I was like, oh my goodness, Levy don't even care. Levy took the bracelet. I was like, Levy, really, really, in the back. And I'm thinking, like, Levy, I don't know what to say about you, but you don't have no type of instinct. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying. It's like there's no type of instinct in her, because it's like, wee, hello, this is creepy. Why is a stranger putting a bracelet on your arm? There's something about that bracelet that's weird. Absolutely not. But it is what it is. And so, Then Levy just goes on her merry way to meet the producer or director. I just know his name. I want to say his name is Alonzo. I'm thinking it's Alonzo. I'm gonna go with Alonzo. But anyway, she meets Alonzo, who is the producer or director that she's supposed to meet. And I'm not gonna lie, Alonzo, I don't like him. I don't like him. First of all, before he even talked to Levy, he was talking to a priest and another guy. But he was telling the priest, he said something to the priest along the lines of like, make sure that like you have like people who have a disability, make sure they look good and are in like the form of some BS like that. I was like, what type of BS? What is this? Excuse me? What is a pretty handicap? Like, I'm just saying, what is like? Cause like the way he's saying, like, let them be pretty. Like he something along those lines. I was like, what? I was like, cause he's not about the people. Cause I'm thinking like, it doesn't matter if they're. It doesn't matter if their disability are like, if they have like, scars or whatnot. It doesn't matter if it shouldn't matter like how it looked. Like the whole point is that the priest is trying to bring awareness to his charity and stuff like that. And I just think Alonso is just full of ish. Just full of it. And so I was like, yeah, I don't like this guy. But after he finished talking to the priest, he goes to Livy and they start talking about her movie script. And of course, he's talking about change it and stuff like that. Change to something superficial because he's over here. Because like her script is basically basically the main character is she grew up poor and stuff, and she's young, and they decided that they want, well, Alonso said that like he wants, first of all, her to change the character, make the character into an adult woman who's rich, keep the politics, but get rid of what makes her story her story. And she's not up for it. And of course, he makes threats saying that like, hey, if she doesn't do what he wants, like he'll make sure that like, even if she does get like someone to see her in script, like he'll make sure it doesn't see the light of day. He's just being a rude person and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh no, oh, he wouldn't talk to me like that. I smack. Well, okay, you can't smack. Never mind. But anywho, he walks off and she's in tears because, again, she wants to be a writer and director, and so this stranger comes up to her and he's saying like, wow, that guy was really unfair to you. And then he says some ish like, but if you could choose how he would die, what would you choose for him? And Vivi's like, excuse me? Why is that even a question? Like, wait a minute. like, she's crying because she realized that not like, there's horrible people in the world. And so she's coming to that realization. And then you over here telling her like, oh, choose this guy's death. It's like, excuse me? What's going on here? And she was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I just like, no. And then he was like, and the guy was like, sadly, you can't like stop that happening. And then he just walks off and it's like, what? Like, I'm not gonna lie, that scene made me laugh because it's like, imagine you imagine you get into argument with somebody to the point where it's either has you crying or you just upset and you just need some time to yourself, and then a stranger comes up to you and then just be like, so how would you like that person to die? And you just like, what? What? I, I just thought that was crazy. Anywho, Levy, she decides to just not think about that and goes to her job. And when she gets to House of Orion, one of the workers there tells her that either tells her that Francesca is waiting for her in I want to say in the office. It don't seem like it's an office. I'm gonna say in a room. And so she goes into this room, and of course I'm thinking, yeah, she meets because she thinking she's meeting with the guy that Francesca was telling her about. Um, and he's like, he wants to hear her, you know, he wants to hear her script, and he tells her to read the first chapter of her movie script, and so she does. And after she finished reading, of course, we basically get scenes of basically her movie script and scene of Aurora. She's at her husband's house and things like that. And of course, there's a flashback to like when she was young and things like that. And she meets like two boys and stuff like that. And so what happens? But yeah, after she reads her movie script, cause the script like ain't nothing like important happens in the script and stuff like that. It's just we're given we're just given like the beginning of it. And so after that, after she reads her the first chapter of her script, like she gets ready for work, and of course she does what she does. She's a seer. She pretends to be a seer, and she points to people and tell people like things that like she didn't know, like what things that people shouldn't know, but in reality they would know if they gossip about the person, if they listen to the rumors and stuff like that. And so, of course, Alonso's in the audience. She chooses him and basically tells him to because he said there's two scripts that he's looking at, and she tells him to choose both and things like that. And of course, she goes on her way. I think, yeah, she leaves the stage. And then out pops out a doll face, and then the guy that basically was talking about Alonso's death, in pops them, and they're just like talking to people, and like it's crazy because and I kid you not, that scene made me laugh too, especially like reading and stuff like that, because Dollface basically sits on a married man's lap, and the wife's like, hey, get off my husband. And then Dollface proceeds to say, well, you share him with everybody else because like he's cheating on you, like and she bold about it too. I was like, oh goodness. And then of course the guy, he's also saying stuff to people as well, and it's like it's crazy. And of course um Levy, she sees this and she's trying to shoo them away. However, it's like she can't shoo them away. And then another person comes on stage and basically says that he is just traveling and he's here to help Sephora and help her unleash her new powers and stuff like that. He says some BS, and and then he walks away and stuff like that. And the show is over with, and everybody's about to go home. So Levy, she gets out of her costume, and she's about to go to leave, and she runs into Alonzo, because Alonzo is talking to, like, talking to the rich people, because this is the crowd that comes to her show, rich people, the elites. And he sees her, and he begins to just say the meanest things to her, and I'm like, why are you being mean to her? Like, she's not here for you. He is just being straight up rude and mean. It's just like, I feel bad for her, because she runs away. Libby runs away, and it's like, and there's a woman, she says something along the lines like, did you really, you didn't have to be mean, but like, she's smirking about it, and he's like, he doesn't care. And the way he's standing in the elevator, because the way that they write it, it's like he's standing in the, like, I don't know, it's like the way he's standing in the elevator, I don't know how it goes, but like, he's like, when he's standing, like, I want to say, not in the middle, like, he's standing to, like, go into the elevator doors slam shut on his legs and stuff like that, and he's screaming and everybody else screaming, and I'm thinking she went down stairs, like she took the stairs, because when she goes downstairs, and she goes to where the elevator at, because like, she, I guess, hears commotion and stuff like that. Not hear commotion, like, I guess she hears like the above, I don't know, but she goes to the elevator, and she open up, and she sees Alonzo's two legs, and it's like, oh, okay, again, like I said, some Final Destination type of mess. And of course, she's shocked about this, and I think before she goes home, she runs into the guy that that was on the stage, and she figures out that he's the guy that sent her the letter, because like, it said his name, Prince, like, it Prince something, and like, it's a name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, because it's just, to me, it's hard. I'm like, what's this? But anywho, and of course he says, like, you will work for me, and you will basically bring me all the corrupt souls, and if you don't, I'm going to end up basically murdering people who have done you wrong. And I'm thinking, like, I ain't trying to be funny, but I'm like, how is that a bad thing? And then I realized, because they could put it on her, oh snap, so she gotta listen to what he says. And then he also says that she also needs to read him a chapter of her movie script every, like, night. And I'm thinking, like, oh, the audacity. But yeah, it's real good. I'm actually interested to see, like, what goes on. I also want to know more about Levy's movie script, because I ain't gonna lie, in the beginning it does sound kind of good. It does sound like a good story, so I'm curious to know, like, where her story goes, and also, like, if she's going to go through with this or not. It's gonna be very interesting, so I'm excited to see where this new story takes us. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think, what you guys enjoy and like. I'm very curious, like, what you think about the story. What's your likes, dislikes? So far, we really haven't gone into the romantic part of this, because in most stories, like, there's of course love interest, but like, we haven't really had any connection. So I'm curious to know how that goes. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. And thank you so much for, coming this far into the video. I appreciate you guys very much for listening to my rambling and just me talking about the stories in general. Um, Again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!